Hello, folks. I'm here with Alice. We just got done training legs this morning on New Year's Eve, and how was legs today? By the way,
Good workout.
Okay, good. So we started talking about nutrition, and I said, have you ever got online and got to the firmu.com and taken the nutrition quiz that I have on there? And she says, no, I haven't. So what did I say? Well, let's go ahead and try it. And we did a couple questions, and it was pretty. Alice knew most of the questions or the answers, but when I explained them, it made a little bit of sense. And they're set up on here to be kind of tricky. All right. So I thought this would be a good time because the New Year's is tomorrow, 2020, January 1st, and this might help a lot of people, with New Year's resolutions and help them in the new year. And also, Alice has agreed to go ahead and take this test with me. And like I said, they're very tricky questions. And a lot of things that you're going to hear from me, you're going to say, I heard exactly the opposite. Well, is it working for you? Well, if it is, turn it off now. If it's not, try listening in. All right. Anyway, so you get on the firmu.com and go to Nutrition Fitness Quiz. We're going to start the quiz. And the first question, true or false? To lose weight is really all about calories in versus calories out.
False.
False. And why is that?
I had a doctor tell me this once, and I've talked to Ray about it, and it's big. Well, because you need to work out because you need your muscles to continue to burn the fat.
Right. You need. What calories are is energy. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you don't take in any calories for 2 days, will you lose weight?
Yes.
Well, of course you will. Yeah, you're not eating. There's no nutrition coming in. And it's actually carbohydrates that hold water into muscles that make you heavier. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think they gained a pound of fat, overnight when they step on the scale the next day. No, that's not the way it works. No.
But is that temporary?
It's very temporary. That's why your doctor's going old school saying, yeah, it's about calories in and calories out. Mm-hmm. But 1 calorie, like a carbohydrate calorie, has 4 calories per gram. Protein has 4 calories per gram. Alcohol has 7 calories per gram. Remember that, folks, tonight? and fat has 9 calories per gram. So if I eliminated fat, that's half the calories right there. But you ever notice that, like a diet soda? I have a lady that drinks almost a 12-pack of diet soda a day. Okay? Yeah. Now, there's no calories in soda. So she should not gain any weight. But what it does, it has aspartame or chemicals that imitate the sweetener that slows down or stops their metabolism. If you don't have your metabolism going, or your liver and your kidneys have to get rid of that cytotoxic chemical out of your body, smells great, goes down great, then all of a sudden your stomach says, hey, what's this stuff? When we were cavemen, we never had this stuff. What's going on here? Something's wrong. We got to get rid of this toxin. And so your body spends all its time trying to get rid of all those toxic chemicals instead of what it's supposed to do with your liver and kidneys get caught up in trying to get rid of those chemicals. Anyway, so is it all about calories in and calories out? If you want to lose calories temporarily, like a day or two, sure, don't eat. All right? Because less calories you take in, you'll lose weight. But guess what? You'll be on that roller coaster ride, and you'll do it for 3 days straight. You can't stand it anymore, and then you're going to be right back on here. No, your calories should be high. It's what they consist of. Remember I said that 4 calories is in a gram of protein and carbohydrates. And in fat, there's 9 calories. Well, fat can't turn to fat. Okay, so you need as much fat as you want. But carbohydrates, that only has 4 calories, can turn to fat. So in the long run, by the whole misconception of calories in and calories out is it depends on what the calories are. Okay, so remember that. Now I do a whole seminar on this, and also I do classes on nutrition and explain this so that you understand it. Anyway, that is a false. So calories in, calories out. Yeah, if you want to lose weight for a day or two, yeah, don't eat. Okay, if you want to maintain it, then the calories that you consume should be more protein and fat, just like we did 40,000 years ago. Okay, nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is the standard American diet the fast food restaurants. That's the diet. This has been around forever. Paleo, the keto, all that stuff. Our bodies were made to do that anyway. So that's not the diet. It's the fast food that screwed everything up. That's the diet. If you want to go that route, then look in the mirror every day. Okay? All right. B. True or false? Reducing calories and increasing cardio is healthy in weight loss. So if you reduce your calories and you up your cardio, will you? Is that a healthy way to lose weight?
Yes.
No, not really, because number one, if you don't remember, calories are energy. Okay, so you need to keep you want to have you don't want to reduce your calories. You want to increase the good calories. The calories like the not the carbohydrates so much, but your meats and your fats you want to increase, or plant-based. Okay, anything like that you want to increase. Doing cardio doesn't have a metabolic effect. So in other words, whatever you do for cardio, you're done. And it makes you hungrier too. So when you do cardio, it makes you hungry. So if you burn 500 calories doing cardio, which is about an hour's worth of cardio, going pretty aggressive, you burn 500 calories, that's all you get. Now the weight training that we did today, you might have burned 350, 400, maybe 500 calories. But your body is going to continually burn calories and burn calories for the next 48 to 72 hours till it repairs. Then we do another muscle group. Then we start that same metabolism all over again. The catabolism of breaking it down the muscle and anabolism building it back up. That equals metabolism. That's the trick. My God, we're learning a lot. So reducing calories and increasing cardio is a healthy way to lose weight. No, it's a temporary way to lose weight. And everybody, starting probably tomorrow or this weekend, is going to do exactly that. Tell me how it works out. And by the way, if you had a New Year's resolution, are you still on it? I am. See these trophies behind me? One of them dates back to 1985. So, if you're going to do a 30-day, what do they call it? A 30-day challenge, okay? Try a 30-year challenge. You work out with me, that's what you get, okay? Not just one of these start and go type of things. All right, so we're moving on to number 3. True or false? The purpose of exercise is to burn as many calories as you can.
True.
No?
No.
Because remember I just got done saying, okay, now think about this.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So you can say, go ahead.
Okay, so the purpose of exercise is to burn
As many
calories as you can.
Okay, that's not the purpose of exercise is to stimulate the muscle.
To make it burn.
Increase flexibility, cardiovascular, respiratory system, and to rest. And as you're resting, the muscles, the glycogen, the glycerol that comes out of your muscles goes in your lymphatic system and out the door, and it repairs itself. So sugar that's in your blood goes into the muscle cell, replenishes itself, and stores as glycogen. Okay, that cleans the sugar out of your blood, so you're using fat for energy all the time. All right, and you're burning more calories at rest. You can be sleeping. All you have to do is take in oxygen, and most people that come here are really good at doing that. Most people in general, too. Okay, so the purpose of exercise is to burn as many calories as you can. You know what, folks? If you want to run through trees, climb up ropes, and turn over tires, and sweat till and drop dead in your car and try to drive home, good for you. But I don't see any sweat on you. Does that mean you had a bad workout? No.
Well, I had a little sweat.
Okay, all right. She did have a little bit of sweat, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Sweat with Ray Bessette, right? But it's not. The purpose of exercise is not to kill yourself. It's to specifically exercise a muscle or deplete a muscle till it gets fatigued. So it breaks down the sugar inside that muscle. It depletes into your body. It goes out the door. Then sugar from your blood goes back into that muscle cell or the sugar that you eat. Okay? And you start burning fat for energy rather than sugar all the time. People that do cardio never hit fat cells. There's no way. If their body, let me take that back. If their body fat's over 30%, it's almost impossible. How do you find out what your body fat is? You get on my bioimpedance scale, right? So we can chart your progress.
Right.
Anyway, let's go move on. High cholesterol leads to heart disease. You should avoid red meat and egg yolks.
False.
Right. Tell a caveman that. You mean a caveman's going to, or tell a tagger that. You know, they'll even skip over, this is kind of gross, but they'll skip over an elk that they kill that has plant food in their stomach. They'll leave that alone because it's plants. They eat just meat. So, yeah, and what is cholesterol? Why is cholesterol bad? Cholesterol delivers oxygen to the cell membrane. How important is that? It also controls your hormones. How important is that? High cholesterol is not the issue. It's the balance between HDL, which is high density lipids, and low density lipids. There's a ratio between the two, and that's the major number right there. Now, I used to be in the pharmaceutical business, so I wouldn't be saying this because I want people to be over 200. That's high cholesterol considered. Then that gets medication bound. That's why I say about pharmaceuticals. And I don't mean that. I don't mean anybody to be over 200. But mine is over 200, about 234, somewhere around there. But my ratio is in the healthy category. So, all right, that's good. That means I can I produce good hormones, or hormones, and provide oxygen to the cell membrane. Okay, so you should avoid red meat and egg yolks. No. The other thing about red meat is it depends on what the animal ate. If the animal ate grass or plant-based, okay, all these vegetable eaters and all that, you're eating the same stuff that the animals are eating, that we're eating the animals. Okay, so it doesn't do you any good to eat adulterated plant food or plant food that's been genetically modified and have the cow do the same thing. But the only difference is we're eating the cow, so the cow's a derivative of the plant. So when you're eating that plant, if that plant is a sick plant or genetically modified, you're no better off than eating meat. The only thing wrong with meat is it's the plant, where it came from, or the lack of plant. Most cows eat grain, genetically modified corn, anything that's cheap. It gets in their meat, we eat the meat, and same with fish, same with eggs and all that stuff. So we eat the meat, so we have a deficiency. Okay. That's why we have Extend Life. This is a commercial, folks. Extend Life is essential fatty acids, and the essential fatty acids are made of unadulterated, which is a clean-based plant, a parent plant, omega-6 and omega-9. Omega-6 would come from the meat we just talked about. Omega-9 would come from oils. Oils like, bad oils would be like canola oil, soybean oil. Good oils, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, primrose oil, those are your good oils. Very important because we're missing that from our diet. If your hair, your skin, and your nails aren't doing very well, it's because you get a lack of this. And don't go by my haircut.
It does help with the hair.
You've noticed that?
I have absolutely noticed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And
Big
your skin
time.
and nails too.
Yeah.
Okay, they won't paint your nails automatically, but we haven't developed that yet. But. Okay, so anyway, I would be more concerned of where you buy your eggs and buy your red meat. As far as cholesterol, cholesterol is good for your body. You would die without cholesterol. It gets a bad rap because doctors put a number on things, okay? And I don't know why they put a number on cholesterol because there really isn't one. But it sells drugs. Okay, here we go. Eating a lot of saturated fat will make you fat. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Because now remember, folks, this is a test that's really made to kind of make you think about things, okay? And they're kind of tricky. So
I know there's saturated fat and there's unsaturated fat, but I really don't know the difference.
Okay, both of those are fine, saturated or unsaturated, okay? Because, for an example, my mother used to, after we eat steak when we were kids, she would actually take the fat and eat the fat directly, and she was as thin as it could be, or lean. So there's one proof that fat doesn't turn to fat. And fat is good for you. Fat gets a bad rap because back in the 80s when they had the food pyramid wrong, you didn't get an apology letter from the FDA on that, did you? And they said
Not
eat
that I
more.
recall.
Okay, anyway. But no, eating fat can't turn to fat. It's already fat. How can it turn to fat? It's going to be used for body structure in your body somehow. It's never going to turn to fat unless it's a trans fat or it's been chemically altered. Okay, so fat is a good thing. You can't live without fat. You can't live without protein. You can live without sugar. And by the way, this is a fact. There's only 1 teaspoon of sugar at one time that your body needs throughout the day. That's it. 1 teaspoon. Okay, so we are on an overload of sugar today. Okay, Even the train agrees with me. Okay, whole grains are healthy.
Jeez.
I know these are kind of tricky.
That one is tricky. I don't.
Yeah, it can be yes and it can be no. It's really false because there really aren't any healthy grains today the way they're processed. Okay, you ever look on a Cheerios box and it says heart healthy? How on God's earth can Cheerios be heart healthy? Number one, it's a carbohydrate and it's sugar. Okay, so a carbohydrate's a long word for sugar. Okay, it gets in your bloodstream, your sugar goes up, your chances of gaining fat are greater. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you're getting fatter, how can it be good for your heart? Okay, there's no, why are cereals fortified? Because there's nothing good in them to begin with, and they have to do something. And you ever see the stores and how many rows of cereals and how many cereals there are? Because it sells. It's big. It's a big commodity. And what's the number one commodity in the United States? Grain and corn. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, so it's false. Whole grains are, in my book, aren't healthy. I stay away from them. Here we go. Fish oil is healthy.
Oh, this is a big one.
Mm-hmm. Here, let me answer this one. Okay.
Fish oil is healthy. Wrong.
That's right.
It is false.
It's actually a poison.
Yeah.
Okay. It does have a spot in the medical field. Actually, fish oil is used for psoriasis because it kills everything in your body. It's a poison. It's kind of like napalm bomb in Vietnam, getting rid of a fiery substance goes across the whole field, hoping that you'll hit an anthill. It's terrible. It's why anybody came up with the idea that fish oil, taking a fish, juicing it, and putting it in a capsule is good for you. By the way, there's another fact. Did you know that fish oxidizes or starts to spoil at 76 degrees? So you walk into H-E-B or any other major store and you smell fish, okay, that's fish starting to rot. Okay, so it rots at, I think it's 70 degrees. Okay, so if it rots at 70 degrees, what's going to happen when it hits your body at 89.7 degrees? It's already rancid before it hits your body, even if it did work. Okay, by the way, this is not fish oil. Okay, what they're trying to do is get your omega-3 and omega-9. It turns into DHA and EPA. Most of the fish oils that you buy today have a pharmaceutical dosage of fish oil. It is not needed. It's an overload. So your body's metabolism starts to go down because it's trying to get rid of that toxic poison that fish oil gives you. Now, if you eat a fish, a wild fish, that's different, okay? Because it's getting the good omega-3 that's in here, that's in the real fish, not the oil. How they ever made that the number one selling supplement in the world, I don't know. I wonder if it could be the government. Well, they're not. They're on the level, aren't they? All right, let's move on. All right, so that's false. Fish oil is not healthy unless you have psoriasis or some other kind of skin disease. Carbohydrates are not sugar. Here's an easy one.
They are sugar.
That's right. It's just a long word
for sugar.
Bingo. Good. Let's move on. Carbohydrates are the preferred fuel source for our bodies.
False.
What is the preferred fuel source?
Protein and fat.
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 Okay, but you're right on all three.
Mm-hmm.
There are three sources of energy in our bodies that we can consume. One of them is your preferred energy source is fat. Our bodies are made to burn fat for energy. In the presence of sugar, it'll use sugar first. That's why when people do cardio, they're trying to get to their fat cells and say, well, if I get my heart rate up, it doesn't work like that. Not when you have a body fat of 30% or better, which is the first stage of obesity. Doesn't work, folks. Don't believe me. Go into a gym. Go to the gym for the next month. Guess what you're going to see? You're going to see people not changing anything. Oh, I lost 10 pounds. Did you really? Did you lose 10 pounds of water, fat, or muscle? Don't know? I can tell you. I'll show you on my scale. And most people come in dehydrated because they lost water and not fat or lost muscle. Mm-hmm. Muscle can be used as a energy source also, but it's in the later stages. You hardly ever use muscle as an energy source. Fat is preferred. Sugar, if it's available, that gets burned off first. Mm-hmm. And you can't burn fat till you get rid of the sugar. Okay, so that's what we try to do. Is most people are diabetic and don't know it. So first thing I do is I like to do labs, but if I don't have the labs, I consider, if you're over 30% on my body fat scale analysis, then I'm going to assume that you're either pre-diabetic or insulin resistance, and I'll tell you the difference between that. But anyway, so this is false. Carbohydrates are not your preferred fuel. It happens to be the most popular because carbohydrates are all over the place. It's more abundant. You can't go anywhere without carbohydrates or sugar being in something. And that's why we have so many obese people or overweight. And so for the new year, okay, if you take the oils, the X10 Life that I have here, essential fatty acids or EFAs, this right here gets your craving away from sugar and carbohydrates because this is fat. Fat can't turn to fat. Yeah, it has 9 calories per gram. Sure it does. It has a lot of calories. So if I take 3 or 4 of these, it's going to be a lot of calories. But it can't turn to fat anyway, and it gives me energy. Now, if I took a couple 4 bags of sugar and I took that, I'd have less calories, and I'd still have energy. But those sugar calories have the chance to turn to fat. Fat can't turn to fat. Okay. All right, moving right along. True or false? Eating a lot of fruit helps you lose weight.
False.
It's correct. Why is that false?
Because of the sugar content.
Correct. It's like that song. Sugar, sugar, da, 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 da. Sugar's in it. I mean, if it's sugar, whether it came from fructose, which is in fruits, or if it came from a Snickers bar, or if it came from an apple, a tomato, no, I shouldn't say that. Cucumber's not a good potato. Okay, it's still sugar. So sugar is sugar. Fruits are sugar. And by the way, if you ever have an apple in January, I'm from Vermont originally, and we had 1 month to eat an apple, and that was in October. When you picked the apples, you ate it turned brown, and it rotted. That had enzymes in it. It actually was real. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you go into your local supermarket, you buy an apple in January, which is unheard of in Vermont, by the way. If you go in and you buy an apple and you take a bite out of it and leave it on the counter, is it going to turn brown? Eventually it might, but it doesn't turn brown right off. So That's a good way to find out if it's an inflammatory, which inflames, when you cut your finger, your finger swells up and water gets in, it swells up with water. That's what happens inside of your body. Inflammation makes you gain water. And a lot of people that change up their diets real quick lose a lot of fluid, which is interstitial stuff, which is the kind of water I'm talking about, the inflammation water. Mm-hmm. That's why you see all these ads all of a sudden, right before the first of the year, of all these fast food diet thing, or these diet menus and all that stuff. And all it is chemicals that are better or lower calories than that you're taking in now. It's better than, I guess their poison is better than the poison you're eating, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it's still poison. Anyway, so I shouldn't say poison. It's just not healthy food. I take that back. All right, so anyway, so fruits and vegetables, and fruit still has sugar, okay? So I'm not saying not to eat fruits, but to reduce them. And by the way, blueberries or any kind of berries are the best fruits. They're lower in sugar.
And what about antioxidants?
And if you get a real blueberry, now mm-hmm. that's another subject too. Is it a real blueberry? Well, put it on the counter or hide it somewhere and come back in 2 weeks. And if it's not rotted, then you can tell it's not a real blueberry. It was genetically modified. It causes inflammation. Okay, so that's one way to find out. The other way is I like to buy things frozen, because if I'm a blueberry grower, let's just say, and I know it's going to be frozen, which is a natural preservative, then I know it's not going to be in the supermarket sitting there fresh berries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, it can't be fresh for very long, and I'm not going to make a whole lot of money off fresh berries because they're going to rot pretty quick, or they should. Mm-hmm. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I do know that if they're cold and they're in frozen, I know there's better chances that it's going to be real. The other thing is too.
They were frozen at early stage.
They were frozen at an early stage.
Yeah.
It had to be. So, and not only that, you can make a smoothie or a shake with a protein powder, stuff like that. It's like putting ice in there. It's just frozen. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Hormones cause cancer. Hormones cause cancer.
False.
I don't know who came up with, what doctor thinks that hormones cause cancer. Your hormones are the highest when you're 17 to 25. What's the cancer rate for 17 to 25-year-olds? How about, let me ask you a question, how about 45 and up? That's when you're starting to really drop off on your hormones. All right, so no, that's not true. There was a study done back in, I think, 1940s where they took 1,000 guys and one guy got prostate cancer. Well, he might have got prostate cancer anyway. So, and by the way, most guys die with prostate cancer, not necessarily of. And by the way, these antioxidants right here are great for supplying your cells, the cell membrane with oxygen. And that's what we're missing from our food today, is that plants, the cows eating the real plants, they get the good omega-3s getting into the to the cow meat or to the animal meat. We eat the meat, and then the oxygen is carried by the cholesterol, okay, to our cell membrane. Everything's hunky dory. Well, if our food has changed and we're not getting as much good plant-based food from the cows, okay, and there's a cancer rate that's going through the roof now, and our food's changed.
Yeah.
What's really the cause of cancer? Is it a coincidence? What do you think, folks?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, in the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that. Okay, so anyway, do hormones cause cancer? No. Actually, the lack of hormones cause more diseases and more issues than anything else. The scale is the best way to measure your progress. We just talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think?
False.
Why is that?
Because, well, I don't know the science behind it.
That's right.
But I've lost inches more
Right.
more than I have pounds.
That's right.
The inches, big time.
Right.
Yeah, close
So-
up fit. You know,
Right.
but the scale,
So when
my
you-
scales at home still say the same thing, but you're telling me don't watch the scales.
Right. And the scale is a very poor measurement because, even if you lose weight, you don't know what you lost. Was it water, fat, or muscle, right? You ever see somebody come to you up into a cocktail party or holiday party and say, how much do you weigh anyway? No, they say, hey, you look good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd rather look good and feel good in my clothes
Yes.
than get on the scale. I don't even get on my own scale, 6 months at a time at the most. And it's only because I'm a little curious.
Yes.
Or I got some time on my hands. That tells you how much time I have on my hands. Anyway, so the best way to use to measure your progress is a bioimpedance scale or some kind of measurement. There's a bod pod. There's all kinds of ways. Those are kind of expensive, and you have to go to a facility for that. Your clothes are the best. So take measure around your body 24/7. Your clothes fit better. You must be doing something right. And by the way, your muscle will shrink a little bit too, or grow a little bit full of water. Your muscles are made of 86% water. So as you're lifting weights, your muscles aren't getting bigger. They're getting more fluid. They're getting more fluid in them. So they actually get bigger. Your fat starts to come down. Okay, so that's why your clothes fit better, is because the fat actually is the muscle's starting to get bigger or fuller. Okay, your fat is depleting, and so because muscle weighs more than fat, because muscle is mostly water and water weighs a lot. Okay, so it's kind of a stalemate. So your muscle is not you can't gain a whole lot of muscle, but you can gain fluid in the muscle. That makes you work out harder, which makes you stronger too. So you're getting more fluid in the muscle, the fat's disappearing, and that's why your clothes are getting smaller.
Yes.
Because fat is muscle's very dense, so it's smaller. Fat's kind of fluffy. It's all over the place. So your muscle's getting bigger with water, but the fluffiness from the fat is going down. That's why your clothes fit better. And the scale hasn't changed because the water in your muscle is getting larger. You see what I'm saying? So you're getting what we call firm. Okay, here we go.
That's exactly what's happened. In 3 months, 3 months.
Yeah, and that's not always the case. Some people get both. They lose the pounds and they but in your case,
I lost a few.
Yeah,
a few pounds.
Yeah, but you're gonna have that one day where you're gonna start all of a sudden starting to really catch up and lose the actual weight on the scale. Okay, that part's coming. Okay, people lose weight in different ways, lots of different ways. Okay, dietary protein is stored as fat. So if you eat too much protein, will it be stored as fat?
Excess dietary protein stored in fat. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, remember I think I mentioned it earlier that fat can't turn to fat.
Oh, right.
And protein can't turn to fat.
Right.
Okay, they're going to be used for your body for structure. That's why it's so popular about the paleo diet. It's not really a diet because we've been doing it for 40,000 years. Or the paleo, the keto, they are more of the protein base and fat base because it can't turn to fat. Okay, only carbohydrates. And again, if you don't have the good fats, okay, it's hard to get good fats nowadays, especially in restaurants. Okay, so protein can't turn to fat, so it can't be stored as fat. So that's false. Okay, abdominal exercises are the best way to build and show your abs. So if you did abdominals all the time, that's the best way to build them and show them. This is kind of a trick question. I'll tell you why. Now, we do abs about every we'll do a push movement, a pull movement, and an abdominal. The abdominal exercises that we're doing really is just giving you a chance to recover from your upper body movements or lower body movements. Okay? Does it build muscle? Yes. But it's more of a kind of a keeping you actively resting. Now, we could stand there and watch TV and talk about The Voice or America's Greatest, whatever, okay, on TV. Yeah. Or we could be doing an exercise like doing abs, doing planks, doing stuff like that. While your muscles that we're really focusing on, we let them rest. Okay, so really that's what it is. So I don't do abdominal exercises until I'm getting right down to a show. I really don't. Doing squats, doing big body exercises, you're always using your core. And here's another thing, folks. Genetics has a lot to do with it, okay? A lot to do with it. So you either have them or you don't, a lot of times. What you got to do, though, is get the fat down to show them. And that's what it's all about. And also calves are another genetic issue. Okay, especially being a bodybuilder, I know all about that stuff. So abdominal exercises are not the best way to build and show your abs. Okay, it is a way, but it's not the only way. It's not the best way. You want to do the big body stuff like squats, so you burn more calories at rest because you got a bigger muscle burning calories. The bigger the muscle, if I did finger exercises like this, I'm not going to burn as many calories as if I did squats. Okay, so when I'm resting, I'm going to burn more calories because I did squats and not finger exercises. Okay, then that's going to get the fat away from my gut to show my abs better. Yes. Okay, so. Okay, and here we go. I think this might be the last one. Here's a good one. This is kind of a tricky question, just like everything else. Your doctor is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, according to the Journal of American Medical Association, or JAMA, in July of 2000. Okay, your doctor is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States. This is one of their journals. This is a medical journal that it's coming from. So it's coming from a very credible source. Is it true or false? The doctor's the 5th leading cause of death.
I guess I would probably say true after my experience.
Yeah. No, it's actually false. It's false. And the reason why it's false is because doctors are the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States, right behind cardiovascular disease and cancer. And that's just the way this is coming right from the horse's mouth right here. Okay, and there we go. Oh, we got 15 right out of 15. How about that? Wow. Well, anyway, what I'd like to do, folks, is invite you to go ahead on my website, thefirmu.com, and go ahead and take that quiz. It's a nutritional fitness quiz. And if you get 50% right, email it to me with your score, and I'll give you the score at the end, and I will give you a free personal training session. Okay?
What about your open house tomorrow?
What's that?
What about are you having an open house tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're having an open house, thank you, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock on New Year's Day. We're at 9803 Spring Cypress, you'll see the balloons outside, but Suite 600 in Houston, Texas. We're right by the old Louetta where the railroad tracks are, which you probably, if you're still listening, you heard go by one of the trains. Anyway, hope to see you tomorrow. And if you're going to have a New Year's resolution and you want to have a free consultation with me, I can help you out there. I've been on my New Year's resolution for about 30 years. Okay, so I don't have a New Year's resolution. How about yourself?
Yes, just to stay on track.
Stay on track?
I think, yes. Yeah,
okay.
Stay on track. I
That's
started
good.
in September, so.
That's a good answer because if you said anything different.
Staying on track because
very good.
It's working.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, folks, Happy New Year.
New Year.
All right, Alice and Ray Bessette signing out. Have a good day.